First things first, shout out to Le'Veon Bell, bro. He collected $28 million in 18 games.
Damn.
$28 million in 18
$28 million, 28 rushing yards total. Dude out here.
Well, let's get to it, Marcellus.
Yeah, please.
Do you have an issue with the Jets sticking with Adam Gase amidst all their struggles?
You know I do. A tremendous issue with Adam Gase surviving this when key player, top player after top player find themselves outside the New York Jets organization. Why Adam Gase? Like, did you not watch him coach in Miami? He was a losing coach in Miami. And then you get him to the Jets, and in his first season, he goes 7-9, and you say, we're going somewhere. You ain't going nowhere, brother. And now you look at him 0-5, 32nd ranked offense, 30th in point scoring on defense. This is a horrible situation. And now it's going to be the 10th consecutive year the Jets are not in the playoffs, but they continue to just stay pat through this futility. Adam Gase needs to go. And I understand the mantra of you can't fire all the players, so, you got to fire the coach. Yeah, that should ring true right now. Why is it now that we're going to survive and keep the coach alive and let the players walk? The jockey is the wrong jockey for this situation. This needs to be about the horses that they continue to let go. You look at Adam Gase, he's used up his 9 lives already in his 5 seasons. I don't see him as a capable head coach in our league, and I don't understand why the Jets do.
Marcellus, I had to think about this topic, and as you talking, my blood is boiling just thinking about Adam Gase. So let me start off like this. You know what? Get my single, please. Get my single. I got to talk to the people.
Ooh, looking good.
Just because you have the title does not mean you have the qualifications.
Okay.
Just because you have the title doesn't mean you have the qualifications. Growing up, I thought about parents in general, my parents. And because they're called parents, you assume that they're perfect. They have supernatural abilities, when in fact, they just had some kids, making them parents. Living now in L.A., in Hollywood, navigating these streets, you think of actors and actresses. Oh, they have some superhuman innate ability to put on roles. No, they're just people that play people or things. They don't have some superhuman power. Just because Adam Gase has been called head coach, we think that he has earned the right or has a qualification to be a head coach. But just because he got the title doesn't mean you have the qualifications. Let's look at the Adam Gase effect. I'm just going to bring up 3 notable players that you all know. Ryan Tannehill under Adam Gase. 13-11 record. Y'all can see everything else. Without Adam Gase, 11-3 record. Devontae Parker under Adam Gase. 12.6 yards of reception, 6 touchdowns in 39 games. Without Adam Gase, 16 yards of reception, 14 touchdowns in 35 games. Jarvis Landry with Adam Gase, 10.3 yards of reception. Without Adam Gase, 13 yards of reception. And top 3 overall pick, Sam Darnold under Adam Gase. He's seeing ghosts. I say this to say Adam Gase is quite literally dismantling a franchise. He is Bill O'Brien on steroids. He's a better Bill O'Brien than Bill O'Brien.
Well, Bill O'Brien won at least.
At least Bill O'Brien won.
At least he won.
So my first lap, I got to get that out of my chest. My second lap, I'm going to come with a little bit more ammo.
Well, look, you don't need any more ammo. Just watch Adam Gase coach, and you're like, all right, that's enough ammunition. Low-key Jeff Fisher right now. Now, Jeff Fisher used to be the dude when I was playing.
Throw me a oop, because I got some Jeff Fisher notes.
Jared Goff is like, thank God Jeff Fisher left.
Since Marcellus went here, I got to piggyback off my dog. I was going to save him, Marcellus, but you said the name, and I'm triggered. Under Jeff Fisher, Jared Goff was 0-4. He actually finished that season 0-7. Within 2 calendar years, Jared Goff was in a Super Bowl. Under Jeff Fisher, Nick Foles was 4-7. Within 2 calendar years, Nick Foles was a Super Bowl MVP and had the best 3-game stretch in the playoffs we've seen in modern history. Under Jeff Fisher, Case Keenum was 7-7. Within 2 calendar years, he was 11-3 under the Minnesota Vikings. Stop blaming players when it's a coaching problem.
And stop interrupting me when I bring up Jeff Fisher. Because I wasn't going to say none of that. He over here like, don't you steal my notes. I was up early this morning. Add Todd Gurley to that list, too, as well. Oh, Todd Gurley was like, thank God, get rid of Jeff Fisher. That said, we used to call Jeff Fisher when 8-8 is great. And that's when 8-8 is great. And Adam Gase would love to be 8-8 right now. This is a situation I had to dig a little deeper in because we have some counting numbers. We have some real-life players that obviously going to support our argument of why we don't like Adam Gase. But a little more digging finds that there may be a little relationship love that's protecting him in terms of, remember the rumors that Peyton Manning was going to become the general manager of the Jets, quickly denied by Peyton Manning. How dare you? But Peyton Manning didn't deny that he made a phone call to the owner, Woody Johnson. And on that phone call, he called him on a Tuesday night. The next day, guess who was hired? Adam Gase. Who's Adam Gase? His former quarterback coach and offensive coordinator when Peyton Manning was in Denver. So he's riding past success. And I'm not picking on Jeff Fisher. I like Jeff Fisher. That's my dog. But you can ride past success amazingly as a coach. But as a player, the evaluation process is much more hypercritical. I need that lens that they look at players through to look at these coaches through as well.
I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. How do you not read into things, Marcellus, when Jamal Adams says, I don't think he's the right leader for the organization?
Yeah.
How do you not read into things when Kelechi Osemele, at one point in time, the highest paid offensive guard, is like, yo, they're doing things wrong here. Now Kelechi Osemele starting for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's rolling.
Right.
Where there is smoke, you have to understand there's fire. I've played with some coaches. I'm sure you have as well. I played with a coach in Philly who didn't realize you need talent. You know, some coaches
What are you talking about? This is the wrong show to be up here trying to hide. You say his name with his chest. My former coach?
Your former coach.
Chip Kelly.
I played with Chip.
That's my guy.
And Chip always believed culture can beat talent. That was his philosophy.
Huh?
Culture can beat talent. And I'm like, you know what? I'm with you to a point.
Yeah.
Talented culture can beat talent, but talentless culture don't got a shot. Marcellus, there was an offseason. We trade LaShawn McCoy. We trade Deshaun Jackson. I believe we traded him. We didn't let him walk. Then we let Jeremy Maclin walk. I'm like, talent evaluators, they spend their whole career trying to acquire Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, Jeremy Maclin. And we let all them dudes go because Chip was under the premonition that culture can beat talent. Well, we go from 10-6 to 6-10 within one calendar year.
Yeah.
That's the problem some of these coaches make. That's how you can see a Bill O'Brien trading a DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. That's how you can see a Adam Gase. Think about this, Marcellus. How you inherit a roster with Jamal Adams. People are already claiming him to be a future Hall of Famer. A Sam Darnold, number 3 overall pick. Le'Veon Bell, who was the best running back in the league prior to taking that year off.
That happened.
A top-tier offensive lineman across the board. And you look up, and the whole cupboard is empty.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to start to look at the coach.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Him having his issues in Miami and disagreements with Stephen Ross and finally having to leave Miami should have been a warning sign to the Jets. But then the Jets actually put him in a situation where when Le'Veon Bell is there, he's like, I didn't want Le'Veon Bell. Remember from the beginning, they had issues because that's not my guy. And he coached Le'Veon Bell like he wasn't his guy. Like he took it personally. Instead of extracting all the ability out of a franchise player, you decide to just make a point out of Le'Veon Bell. So, like you were talking about in culture, it's so funny. People always say practice makes perfect. And then they say, no. Perfect practice makes perfect. Like you still have to go out there and work through the process, relationships, and motivating these players to play up to their abilities. Seems like Adam Gase has.
Let me ask you something, because you played longer than I and played with more grace than I did. Do you ever believe there's a point in which you run off a star player, or do you say he's a star player, we have to make it work, outside of hyperbolic situations like Antonio Brown where, you know, they're extenuating circumstances?
Well, yeah, look, the star player has to run himself out unless it's something that is cancerous, that's contagious, that's going to hurt others. Then you start to look at it, that relationship between what's his production and what is he doing counter to that in terms of personality and hurting our team. But I give it to you like all the coaches say. If a bad player is asleep in our meeting room, cut him. If a good player is asleep in our meeting room, wake him up. That's how I look at culture and star
Here's
players.
what I know. What I look at is this. The Jets rank last in points per game. They rank last in points differential, and they rank 31st in total offense. And this is supposed to be under an offensive genius in Adam Gase.